Hello everyone, I'm your friend inside Excel. Now we are going to talk about how to train our own sentence complete model. It is said we have to use this command to train that model. So let's have a look in it. From this field, we can say train underline token. The first line of codes is get data. Then we go to the get data function. And we found something like this. You may wonder, what's the data we can get from this command? Well, we don't know until we print it out. So let's do this. Pattern 3 narrow complete token. Then we get something like this. First, it's a last. Combines with thousands of sentences. So now you know what to do next. Is to generate our own data and put it into the data folder, so we can train our own narrow completion model. So now we need to generate our own dataset. For my purpose, I want to auto-complete the writings when I'm in writing, okay? And I wish I could use some sentences that has been used in those published books. So the ideal dataset for us is those published books. For example, here I got a PDF book. As you can see, Introducing Python. I think this book is very well for those people who want to learn Python but don't know anything about computer science. And its language is the author is a very good person in writing because he's a scientist, and his language also very beautiful. I could read you a little bit about this book. Most computer languages can represent a sequence of items indexed by their integer position, first, second, and so on, down to the last. You already seen Python strings, which are sequences of characters. You also had a little preview of lasts, which you will now say are sequences of anything. So I think the language this book used is quite beautiful. So I'm going to scrap all sentences from this book as our source data to train that sentence complete model. So first I need to extract text from that PDF file. And according to what I found, PDF to text, you will get a lot of breaking sentences. But if you convert EPUD to text, then you won't get those broken sentences. Instead, you'll get some complex sentences. And those sentences is what we want. Let's rename this field to our own data.txt. Then move this field to the target folder, which is our data folder. Okay, that's we done here. No. We need to change something about the len.py. We need to change it to .txt. Okay, since about to go right, now I'm going to train this model by using Python 3 narrow complete.py and talking. I hope it will work. No, we get it wrong here. Then I think the only problem is we got one field right now, but maybe it's a little more than that, so I'm going to use this command to split the big field into multiple small fields. And every 300 line as a part of it. Let's go with it. Okay, we got all those things. Then we need to change this again to make it something like this. Okay, let's try it again. Come on, I still got this problem. Why? Okay, to solve this problem, it's harder than I think. So I'm going to do some tests. First, let's go back to the. Let's move the backup data to data. Then go to the model.py field. Since the problem is about the input shape, so I'm going to print self.encoder decoder.x shape. Then let it hang on there. And this time I'm still going to do this training. Okay. It's about the string. Now it should be okay. And yes, as you can see, this is the thing we got when we're using the original dataset. Let's save it and stop it. Go back to here, save that. Then we need to still back up the old dataset data folder. Then create a new one. This time I'm going to copy backup that text to the backup data. No, to the data folder. Okay, now let's run that thing again. It seems like we got something like this. Alright, let's go back to there and paste it in here. Okay, as you can see, the two things, they are the same thing. I don't see any different from the two input data. But for somehow it's keep stacking on here, and it's keep warning that we got a wrong input shape. Then I start to wonder why it must be none and 359. Hey guys, finally I know where it goes wrong here. Basically it's about the model.field. In the build model function, as you can see here, if it's detected that already have H5 paths, it will load that model from the local storage. But if we haven't that model Then it will try to build a new model. In this process, it will ask for the lam unique Q tokens. And I will show you what's that. Okay, as you can see, the unique question token is something like this number, 4,000. No, 7,000. And the shape is also 7,000, right? So this is the right shape, but the model was not built by that input shape. So all we need to do is delete all fields or models in this folder. Then we do this thing again. Just only in this way it can be worked. So here, as you can see, it's in training. That's the thing we want from the very beginning. So anyway, I must say, if you want to run an ML project from GitHub, the most important thing is don't forget to delete the original model. Otherwise, if you use your own dataset, the input shape is different, so that will cause wrong. Okay, it's done here. Let me run this server. Then go to front end folder and serve those web page. Okay, here we go. Let's type if. This is what we got. If it's example, all about the say support for whatever. It seems like it's no good. I want to say for example, int. So to me, it's more like an autocomplete model to help you generate sentences. But if you want to use it as something that's useful when you are typing, you may just want to use a traditional search method. For example, like this. For example, I want to know what's in the next. And here we go. For example, integers and floats, because they are automatically converted to one another by passing in expressions. That's something we want. Are you sure about that? Okay, I'm not sure. If you really want to let this model useful, you have to give it some data that concentrate on one point or one area that makes sense. Okay. But here you can see some sentences like this. It doesn't make sense for the AI because it's not a natural sentence. It's code. It's Python codes. So for the next thing, I want to extract all those natural sentences by the symbol, for example, this, and filter all those codes. After that data clean, we may want to do this training again to say if it works. Okay, I have created a new text field. As you can see, it's full of English sentences. just something like this. And I hope this time it will work well. Let's start training. But before we train, we need to delete all sense in the model field. That's right. Then we can use Python 3 neural network token. Let's go. Okay, finally it's up and we are ready to go to give it a test. First, let me run the server, as always. Then I'm going to the front folder and the destination folder. Yes, now we are ready for a test. Let's choose the token model, then type something, for example, hi. Well, it's quite bad because I don't see any space character in the sentences. Okay, let me do something more. Drink. Drink it. It's already an sentence, right? Sit down. Say hello. If you ask me how it feels like to do this, I would say it's bad because for this time I have learned that narrow complete is not perfect because you have limited computing resources and you have limited dataset, and also you don't know what kind of dataset you should feed into that narrow model. And to me, it makes sense only when the dataset is a special dataset, in a narrow area for a certain thing. For example, codes. What kind of codes? One language and one certain job. So for a simple structure of model, it won't work on complex thing. Yes, it makes sense because I didn't pay any hard work on those projects, on those codes, so it makes sense to not get better result. It's okay, I can take that. Okay, that's it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.